Flames tore through a home in the Dove Creek area of the Comox Valley overnight, destroying the house and sending 2 people to hospital. It was the first major fire of the new year in the Comox Valley, and as CTV's Gord Kurbis shows us, investigators are now trying to find a cause and the home's owner.
It was a blaze that expanded so quickly it had consumed much of the home before firefighters had even arrived.
We could see the glow as we were approaching the building, and our first arriving unit there made the determination that it was going to be a defensive attack.
Crews were called to this 2-level home shortly after 2:30 this morning. The owner phoned 911 to report his house was on fire and then quickly fled to a neighbor's.
Yeah, reports of one person being inside when it was called in, 3 people on scene when we arrived here. Typical residential house. 2-story wood frame construction. So far, yeah, we've been able to keep the fire to one portion of the house. We're trying to save as much as we can.
The building is located on property in the rural area of Dove Creek, just northwest of Courtenay. The fire had to be fought using water brought in by tankers. Firefighters also pumped water onto the flames from a pond on the property.
Yeah, definitely have problems with water. No hydrants out in this area. So fortunately, we do have a pond on this property that we're able to take advantage of.
Also complicating the firefighters' efforts were rupturing propane canisters and a metal roof that held the flames in.
The tin roof was very difficult to deal with. It collapsed down onto the stuff that was burning underneath it, and it took us a while to peel the tin off to get to all the hot spots to make sure that it was extinguished.
The owner and a second man at the scene were treated by paramedics and then transported to hospital. They were released by medical staff a few hours later but haven't been seen since. This afternoon, investigators were back at the property trying to determine a cause for the blaze. They also want to speak with the occupants who were inside.
From what I've been told, next to no injuries. They were released at about 5:45 this morning, and again, we're still waiting to talk to them.
Firefighters were able to save the garage portion of the building, but much of the home's interior is likely unrepairable. The corner of the home where the fire was most intense was destroyed.
Very difficult investigation. We're going to have to rely quite a bit on the description of the events from the homeowners to try to piece it together.
It's unknown at this point whether or not the owners had any insurance on the building. The investigation into the cause of the blaze will continue once the homeowners show up again. Gord Kurbis, CTV News, north of Courtenay.